And gentlemen, we have Alpha Blondie in the house. Can we give him a rousing welcome? And now we'll begin the formal part of these proceedings. If I can invite the architect behind all this, Vinod Melpitia, to come up to the stage. Mr. Kamal Munasinghe from the Cinnamon Hotels. He's the Vice President, Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts. I think he's now the COO of Cinnamon Hotels, Colombo. We can invite Mr. Munasinghe to take a seat. Alpha Blondie, most welcome, sir. And Buddhi Vikramanayaka, Chief Operating Officer, NBC Networks, to come up here as well.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Okay, since we are all here, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I was asked to keep it short and sweet. So, a quick introduction. Actually, you don't need any introduction for this gentleman, but for those of you who need a little more information, Alpha Blondie has a career spanning over 4 decades. Alpha Blondie has delivered international hits, and you'll recognize these names like Jerusalem, Sebeala Ye, Coco de Rock, and Brigadier Sabrari. He has shared stages with the Wailers and other reggae greats. His music speaks across cultures, calling for harmony between religions and celebrating human rights. That is Alpha Blondie for you, and he will be performing for us for the first time in Sri Lanka. But I will leave the best for the last, and I'd first like to ask Mr. Vinod Melpitia to say a few words. It is him and Year Gear Productions who have been the architects and the instruments of bringing this reggae great down here to our island. So, Mr. Vinod Melpitia.
Hi, everyone. We are so glad here today, and I would like to welcome all of you to this press conference on behalf of Big Blast Events and Year Gear Productions. So finally, we have Alpha here in Colombo after so many months of work. So show is happening on 19th. We are really excited, and Alpha is really excited about this event. And he's really excited to be here in Sri Lanka, especially. Show is setting up on Air Force grounds, and it's happening on 19th. And this is going to be a completely different experience for all of you guys as a production. I would like to invite everyone to come and witness this. So I'll let Alpha to speak further. Thank you so much.
And now, before we have Alpha addresses, I'd also like to say that some time ago, Vinod approached me and he said he needed a hospitality chain to look after Alpha Blondie's stay here. He also mentioned that Alpha would like to see Sri Lanka. He'd like to see the country. So I asked him to approach Mr. Kamal Munasinghe, and I must say, Mr. Munasinghe unhesitatingly offered the Cinnamon Hotels and the Cinnamon Hotel chain, which is even out of Colombo, for Alpha as the hospitality partner. And I would like to now ask Mr. Munasinghe himself to say what his intention in doing that was and how his generosity has made this possible.
Thank you, Imran, and I want everyone. Friends of the media, of course. Alpha, welcome to Sri Lanka, welcome to Cinnamon Grand. We're so glad to have you here. An event of this nature hasn't happened in a long time in Sri Lanka. Alpha coming to Sri Lanka. I think everyone got excited. Thanks to Vinod reaching out to Imran, and then here we are, Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts. As you know, Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts is part of John Keel's holdings, and we are a homegrown brand. We always look at ways to promote the country, promote the destination, and we saw a great opportunity bringing in an artist like Alpha to Sri Lanka is going to put us on the map once again, I think, and for Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts, we have beautiful locations all around the island, and we are very glad that Alpha is visiting a few of our locations around the island. And as Cinnamon Grand Hotel, we are very glad that we are able to host him here. He arrived very early in the morning, and he looks fresh for an early arrival, I think. So we look forward for a great event. You will be seeing us at the stadium. Our team will be there to take care of your hospitality needs at the stadium. And we wish to see a lot of people because, once again, Vinod, thank you very much taking the initiative to bring an international artist to Sri Lanka at this caliber. So we look forward to seeing all of you. Thank you very much once again, Alpha. Welcome to Sri Lanka again. Enjoy your stay in Sri Lanka. Enjoy your stay with Cinnamon and the trip with Cinnamon Hotels.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kamal. And to add a little footnote to that, how this all came about, my involvement, Kamal Manasingha's involvement, everything was through another voice that Sri Lanka has, a singer who is famous in her own right and is a Sri Lankan superstar. There she is sitting out there. Her name's Umara Sinawansa, and she's the one who put this jigsaw puzzle together. Let's give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for everything that she has been doing. And now to get on with it, the world needs to know what we're doing. So it's useless us sitting here without having somebody to publicize what we are doing. And to do that, Buddhi Vikramanayaka, Chief Operating Officer of MBC Networks, stepped up to the task, and he'd like to say a few words to us as well.
Thank you, Imran. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Alpha Blondie. I'm your biggest fan, as well as talking about the reggae music in Sri Lanka. We have a huge fan base in Sri Lanka as pioneers in the radio industry. Yes 101, we have had many concerts across the island, and this is something big for us, and we are so excited to be a part of this. And I would like to thank Vinod and the Big Blast event, and also to everyone who's giving us the support in this show, especially to Cinnamon Hotels. Well, we discussed this event about 3 months ago. Vinod told me, yeah, I'm bringing down Alpha Blondie. I was like, what? I was so excited to hear this, and I was waiting to break this news to our audience, to our listener base. Immediately we break the news. We had a huge feedback from the audience, and we are so precious to have you, Alpha. And let's enjoy the country together. We as a media partner, we will promote this event for you to enjoy Sri Lanka.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Buddhi. I promised to keep this short and sweet, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to hear from the star of this show. And we have to thank him for coming down here, for being with us. And we hope that he will enjoy the Cinnamon experience, not only at the Cinnamon Grand in Colombo, but everywhere in Sri Lanka that he travels. But I'd like to now hand over the mic to him and let Alpha Blondie say it in his own words.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd love to say thank you. Thank you very, very much to the organizers and the promoters. And thank you for the people who are receiving us here in Colombo. we were overwhelmed. We were spoiled by the quality of the reception. And to be sincere, this is my very first time to be received in such a beautiful, warm atmosphere. Thank you very much for your kindness. Thank you for the honor. And me and my band, we're going to have to work hard to satisfy the people of Colombo and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka and I is a very long story. In 2002, I think, or 3, I was on my way going to Australia for a concert. After 11 hours of flight, we made a stopover in Colombo. And I love the name Colombo. It reminds me of this American movie, Inspector Colombo. And we spent a stopover for 2 hours at the airport. And during those 2 hours, my musician and I, we went shopping. And I got this. And I got this. Okay? And for some reason, I wrote my name on it. And I want you to see, sir. Okay? So, sometimes God does things that we do not understand. So, today, here I am in Colombo. Okay? So I can say, thank you, God. Thank you for making this possible. And talking about my need, I got hurt in Venezuela, okay? Because after the show, I wanted to shake hands, and there was a barrier, and I'm so naive. My knees, hit the barrier and broke something in it. But it was painful until when we got back to Paris, and my veterinarian, my doctor took care of my needs. We overwent a surgery. So the knee is okay. That's why I came without my, how do you call it? Oh, yeah, no, that's it. Okay. I came without that, to tell the people that, don't worry, it's rock and roll. We are used to go through those kind of challenge, okay? The show going to be great. My musicians are very excited. And I personally, I was so excited to come to Sri Lanka. I asked my mother-in-law, because when I say I'm going to Sri Lanka, she said, oh, Sri Lanka, voila, I have to see it. I said, okay, I will manage for you to come. My sister-in-law said, how can you go to Sri Lanka without me? Okay. So my son Abraham is 6. So I said, we're going to do 2 things. Have some good time with the concert, and after, I'm going to turn myself to be a tourist and discover beautiful Sri Lanka. Thank you, people of Sri Lanka. You are a divine family. Thank God to have made this possible. May He help us succeed in that concert. May He help us stick our links, okay, for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alpha Blondie. Those were the words of a true entertainer, a passionate performer. And I'm sure he's going to show you what he can do out there on the stage on the 19th. And now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, keeping it short and sweet, if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know from Alpha Blondie or any of the gentlemen seated at this table, you're welcome to ask them now. Sorry, that gentleman.
You were speaking about 2002 and 2003. Now, that was your very first experience that you said you had about Sri Lanka. Now, before that, had you heard of us at all? And hang on just a minute.
I
I said before 2003 or 2002, as you said, that you came to Sri Lanka at that time. Now, is it your very first experience that you had with us? And before that, had you heard of this small island that we call Sri Lanka?
Well, I used to buy some Indian clothes in Paris. I love them because, it's very ceremonial. And in my philosophy, every day that God gives us to live is a celebration day. So I love those costumes. I bought a lot of them, a lot, okay? So I knew that, but I also heard on the news about what was happening, okay? But I'm from the Ivory Coast in West Africa. So political problems, we have it. Okay, in every country's history, there is those kind of small things, but that do not stop the time. Okay, peace is a divine must, and every country have to overcome those problems to go forward. The future have more positivity for us than the challenge that God put on our road. Every human being have to face the challenge that God put on his road. Every nation have to face the challenge that God put on our road. But he gave us also the energy, the positive energy to solve those problems, those tasks, those challenges.
You spoke about...
Did I answer?
One more. Two more questions, please, if you
Okay,
don't mind.
please.
The next question is, you spoke about your political problems. Now, have those political problems affected your music? And if so, how bad has it been for you, or how good has it been for you?
We are inspired by everything that happened around us, and especially in countries like mine, Ivory Coast, Africa, the continent. We are the champion of all problems, okay? So, as a singer, you have to mention those problems. You have to criticize, but what I do, my strategy is to make constructive critics, because nobody wants to do wrong. So if wrong happen, if we can see how the politicians can treat some problems, we give ideas, because it's easy for us to criticize. But what would we do if we were at their position? It's like sometimes you're watching a football game. You're sitting comfortably in front of your, your TV or in the stadium, and you criticize the players, but you are not in the field. Okay, we say, do not judge the way somebody walk if you are not in his shoes. So thank you. My way of talking about our problems back home is to give ideas. I'm not a politician, but I like to give ideas. Maybe my idea could help, but there is one thing life have taught me. Peace is a divine must. In peace, there is hope for everybody. But without peace, who gonna respect the human rights? That's why in our countries we have to do everything to preserve peace. Peace. Because within peace, anybody can dream, anybody can hope. And life sometimes, is a process of hope. So my job is to give love, because God that created us is a God of love and a God of peace. And we are in a mission. Every one of us here is in a divine mission. And our missions are complementary. I'm a singer, he's a promoter. Without him, nobody see my ugly face. Okay? And he's the promoter. Without the sound engineer, nobody hear the sound. Okay? He's a promoter, I'm a singer. Without the plane that took us here, nobody will see my ugly face. So we are all linked somehow. And this is our mission. Our mission is to preach love, peace, because that's what God wants us to do. Okay? So small problems in countries, every country have problem, even America. They have a big problem, Donald Trump. So every country have a problem, but the bottom line is that life goes on, and we have managed to go on the positive side of life.
One last question.
Yes.
Have you been influenced?
Where?
Have you been influenced by Western music, or is it essentially only African music?
Oh, no. When we were young and beautiful, we used to have a rock and roll band, okay? We used to listen to also James Brown, okay? Otis Redding, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, okay? We are open, my generation is open to all kind of good music, by the way, okay? When I was studying in America, I had the chance to go see Ravi Shankar concert in New York, okay? I am in love with every beautiful kind of music. Music, how do you say? Music is a medication for me. Music, okay, is frequencies that heals my pain, frequencies that touch places in me that even me don't know. So I am open to all kind of music. Maybe I will meet some musicians in Sri Lanka. I might need somebody who play, how do you call it, the guitar of Ravi Shankar, sitar. Okay, if I have an excellent sitar player, I would like to get in touch with him, because in my next album, I may send him the files for him to do a solo of sitar. Yeah.
A message of love and peace, a message through music, and the music goes on through the voice of Alpha Blondie. Let's hear it for Alpha Blondie, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to now invite you for some refreshments, and I'm sure if he's still here, you'd like to ask him anything on a one-to-one basis, you're more than welcome. Buddhi Vikramanayaka from NBC Networks has a small presentation to make to Alpha Blondie, and if we can do that now, where would...
Oh, just a small.
Oh, that's a nice Sri Lankan drums.
Yes, 101. These are the traditional drums of street.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. There's refreshments, coffee, tea on the other side. Please help yourselves. And if Alpha Blondie is still with us, I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to talk to him on a one-to-one basis. In the meantime, thank you very much for being here today, and we all hope to see you on the 19th. Thank you.